Hi everyone, my name is Jenny Robinson and I'm a PhD candidate from the University of Sydney, Sydney Conservatorium, and my paper today is titled I'm Not Done Yet, a case study of a super veteran secondary school music teacher. This case study comes from a larger study of my research which is titled Factors Affecting the Career Longevity of Australian School Music Teachers. By looking through career stages across the music teacher profession, I'm exploring what affects music teachers, Australian music teachers, in the workplace and how they transition as practitioners. In the literature, I have found teachers are commonly categorised into career stage groupings or can be labelled in a variety of ways. These include pre-service, induction, competency building, enthusiastic and growing, career frustration, career stability, career wind down, and exit. Labels such as pre-service, early career, that's between 1 and 5 years, mid-career, 6 to 15 years, and veteran, 16 plus years, are found in the research, commonly in the United States. Focusing on the literature for the veteran career stage, these features are highlighted. Veteran music teachers in the research of Blay sought administrative support and appreciation and recognition without being involved in decision-making. Brown, from 2015, found that veteran music teacher job satisfaction came from working with students. Being valued and supported was also important to these teachers. Guglielmi, 2016, found that senior teachers, those that are aged 50 years plus, enjoyed the acknowledgement of their skills. While Lowe posits 3 areas of investigation for identifying positive motivation in veteran teachers, these are experimentation and challenge, innovation, new teaching ideas and taking risks, comfort in that they have personal satisfaction at that stage, and leadership, being role models, being mentors, being leaders of change, taking professional development and their perception of value and support. The veteran career stage is quite large, from 16 to 40 years, a 24-year span, and greater in length than any other career stage. The number of music teachers within the veteran career stage is growing as these professionals continue to work longer. To have a career stage that is longer in years than any other is an interesting factor in this research. The issues that affect a teacher at 16 years are potentially vastly different to a teacher of 30 plus years experience. This research separates the veteran stage into 2 parts, 16 to 29 years and 30 plus years, with the 30 plus years category being given the name of super veteran. The case study aims to explore the factors affecting super veteran secondary school music teachers in the Australian context. This research was part of a larger qualitative study that aimed to explore the factors affecting career longevity of secondary school music teachers. The study utilised a survey of 263 respondents and 40 interviews. The interviews allowed for greater depth in questioning and gave the researcher increased opportunity to analyse understanding of participants' perspectives and activities. The survey was distributed nationally by email invitation through the Australian Society of Music Education, or ASME, membership to secondary school music teachers. It contained 45 questions and covered areas relating to career length, age, gender, qualifications, school type, job satisfaction, work challenges, professional development, the implementation of the Australian curriculum, and career forecast. The survey themes were framed by the themes of the literature review. Likert type items and open-ended questions were included. Within the survey responses, there were 32 music teachers categorised as super veterans, that is, those with 30 more years experience. Sampling was purposive in selecting survey participants for those who agreed to be interviewed. A mixture of teachers from all career stages with a blend of male and female participants from many states and territories across Australia was selected. In addition, a mixture of school locations, metropolitan, regional and remote, and school types, government, Catholic, systemic, independent and other were included. Of the 40 participants selected for interview, 18 were from New South Wales, 5 from Victoria, 5 from South Australia, 4 from Western Australia, 3 from Queensland, 2 from the Australian Capital Territory, 2 from the Northern Territory, and 1 from Tasmania. 8 super veterans were interviewed, with 4 from New South Wales, 1 from South Australia, and 1 from Queensland, 1 from Victoria, and 1 from the ACT. The interviews contained 11 questions, focusing on motivation, value, challenge, stress, curriculum implementation, professional development, mentoring, and career forecast. The case study in this paper features a super veteran music teacher from a Catholic secondary school in Sydney, New South Wales, Australia. The interview was conducted in December 2018. Grounded theory principles were followed in analysing the data. Open coding was employed, conceptualising and labelling the themes that emerged. Through axial coding, a stage of coding, links were created, which led to selective coding in the identification of core themes in the data. These core themes were explored and compared to the themes discussed in the literature review, allowing new themes from the data to emerge. In this case study, 4 themes were captured from the responses of the super veteran secondary school music teacher. These are her passion for teaching, her sense of value in the school, the stress in the workplace, and her role as a mentor. This super veteran is a passionate music educator. Understanding the importance of music as a subject was the prime source of motivation for this teacher. She relished sharing the power of music with her students, and she said, "I have such a passion for the power of music. I have seen it work in my own life, and I love the way it excites kids. I love the way kids use it to engage in other areas of their life, be it academic, socially, emotionally. I get a big buzz out of those sorts of things." Recognising her teaching experience, she articulated how her experience in music making and teaching was an asset for students and colleagues in her school. And she said, "Getting to this point in my life, I've done a lot of different things musically, a lot of different things from a teaching perspective, and it's really nice to be in a position where you can feel like you can easily give back, not only to the kids, but to your colleagues as well. You can see the impact of your experience." There was a time, though, in her career where she doubted her vocation and took some time out, only to come back convinced that the profession was for her. And she said, "I always felt that this was the right thing, one thing in my life that is exactly the right fit for me." After many years in the classroom and across several settings, this super veteran secondary school music teacher was passionate about the importance of music as a subject for her students, recognised her skill in performance and pedagogy that has developed over many years, and professed that this profession is still the right one for her. Valuing teachers and recognising their work is fundamental to building self-efficacy, identity, and commitment to the profession. Value can also be described in the literature as role support or acknowledgement of work or job recognition. Being valued can encompass praise for work done and feeling a part of the faculty or the school community, thus increasing belonging to the workplace. A school culture that fosters a sense of belonging and connectedness can also influence teacher resilience. There is much evidence in the literature that focuses on the importance of being valued as a teacher. The super veteran in this case study did feel her work was valued by the executive, principal, students, and parents. And she said, "I do feel my work is valued by the executive. They really appreciate the long hours I put in. They appreciate the creative projects and opportunities that I put together for kids. The boss is very supportive of trying to give me time to do the things that I do, or she will give me time in lieu In other words, time paid back for time spent. Role frustration was also mentioned by this super veteran, and this was linked to not feeling valued in the workplace. Being unable to make decisions for the subject, her head teacher was not a music teacher, did cause issues for this teacher, impacting her sense of value. I'm sure it caused stress as well. Being consulted to review CVs for staff members for the faculty and not being included in interviewing. The expectation of extra work and being disconnected from decision-making made this teacher feel less valued. And she said, I get pulled in to solve problems, but I'm not paid and I'm not acknowledged professionally for the things that I do. That has been the most frustrating part of my career. Feeling valued as a teacher by your school community can have a great impact on self-efficacy, professional identity, and commitment to the school and to the profession in the long term. Resilience is needed when efforts are overlooked, and this was the case for the super veteran in this study. The impact of stress in the working lives of music teachers has been reported in the literature under the guise of burnout, prolonged stress, and anxiety. The stress for this super veteran was the overload, mentioned by many teachers across all career stages in the survey and in interviews. And these stresses are administration, encompassing deadlines, report writing, paperwork, and evidence needed for accreditation. These were the largest causes of stress for secondary school music teachers in this research. While stress was evident for this super veteran, the main struggle was to keep things balanced, and she said, juggling the workload, stressful things, the overload, trying to balance the juggle between wanting to do a good job in the classroom and the enormous amount of extracurricular. Low moments rather than low points in her career that caused stress were shared. One example was having a non-music teacher employed in the faculty and then being told that to adjust programs to support that teacher. This was a main example of stress, and in the one school that it occurred in, it led to this teacher's resignation. It's encouraging to see that this super veteran recognised her stresses and despite them, still wanted to give the best to her students. She did not focus on difficult times, but acknowledged these as moments that pass. Finally, the role as mentor. Research by McCarthy found that when teacher commitment to their schools is high, veteran teachers are able to provide better mentoring for newer teachers. This provides an avenue of support for early career teachers and keeps veteran teachers feeling valued in the workplace, increasing staffing stability across the school. The super veteran in this case study was actively engaged in mentoring other teachers. It was an enjoyable part of her work, and she wanted to move more into this area of work. And she said, when you look at a young teacher and they are so busy about ticking those boxes of getting the accreditation done, which you kind of get, but at the same time you think, I'm here as your coach. Together we can learn from each other and we can talk about these professional things at leisure, and you can spend some time processing all these things, which I never got the opportunity to have when I was starting out. Mentoring teachers in her school, music and English history, as well as interstate through the Australian Music Teachers Facebook page, was another enjoyable aspect of her work. And she said of one teacher that she's mentoring, she's highly conscientious, but she needs to stop and actually process some of the things that we talk about and take that time. As an experienced teacher, we know the value of doing that and the reflective practice. So these are the things that I'm passing on to her at the moment, and to make the most of this opportunity to work with an experienced teacher, because it is invaluable that I can walk beside you rather than be an administrative ticker box experience for you. This super veteran delighted in mentoring early career teachers and wanted to find more work in this area. This research is a significant and encouraging investigation into the working life of Australian super veteran secondary school music teacher who, as a part of a growing cohort of teachers, are often overlooked in the literature. The voice of super veteran teachers is often not heard, with attention mainly given to those in early career stage. The literature also highlights that this career stage is often a period of wind down and exit, or reassessment, definition, and proximate retirement. This was not the case for the super veteran in this study and for many others in the larger study. This research revealed, through extensive exploration of the literature and analysis of the key results from the case study, the important role of super veteran music teachers in providing motivation and challenge for students and staff, and instigating mentoring for early career teachers in their schools or across music teacher networks. This case study also highlighted how being valued by school leadership enhances positivity and commitment to the workplace. This research challenges school leadership and education authorities about the importance and impact of mentoring staff, especially early career teachers, utilising the expertise of experienced super veteran music teachers. It also fills a gap in the literature on Australian super veteran secondary school music teacher motivation, sense of value, and stress. It acknowledges the enormous contribution of super veteran music teachers who actively seek to mentor teachers in the early stages of the profession, whether they be music teachers or those from other subjects, within school communities or beyond, in wider teacher networks, and even across state and territory boundaries. School leadership and education authorities need to acknowledge this rich resource of teacher skill and experience and facilitate avenues to utilise their passion and expertise. Thank you so much for listening. I have some references here at the end of my presentation that I'd like to acknowledge that were within the slides. And there they are. And if you'd like to contact me, my email's at the beginning of the slides. I'd love to hear from you, and I'd love to respond to questions or queries about the research. Thank you.